Peace, everyone. It's Black Eye Priestess. I'm just kidding. I'm just enjoying the pink moon. But I should do my upload like this. It does look kind of cool. I could look like one of Kanye West's wives or something. I don't know. No. But how's everyone doing? I hope you all are enjoying the pink moon in April. So I am fed up. And that is why you all get the pleasure of my acquaintance this evening, this morning, whenever this is not live. But whenever I upload this, why am I fed up? I am officially fed up with the dating wars on social media. On Facebook, a sister named Winnie Bangsy, sounds like an African name, showed up in my feed and made a post saying, oh, so you guys will bash Shira 7 who gives free information, but you'll pay $10,000 for Anwar White to help you get a man, blase Skippy. My response to that was, I should have saved the comment so I could read it verbatim, but it was basically, my response was, let's first be the sisterhood that we require by not judging another Black woman who is spending her hard-earned money on herself. Let's remember, Shira 7 teaches you to invest in yourself. This is a Black woman who is investing in herself by paying another Black man who has a brand geared toward and focusing on Black women finding love. Excellent investment in yourself. She is taking Shira 7's advice, number one. Number two, Winnie Bangsy, you been married since 2021. Please shut the fuck up. You're probably overweight, like most of married Black women are. So you're probably, and I say that to say, why am I mentioning overweight Black women who always seem to have a husband? You know what I'm saying? But because you who are married telling another Black woman or accusing people of bashing Shira 7 just because you need to say something about the fact that a Black woman invested $10,000 in herself, and you're mad because a Black man benefited from a Black woman investing in herself. Why am I saying you probably overweight, like most of you Black married women are, who have something to say about how single Black women operate to find what you already have? Me as a eternally skinny Black woman, me as somebody who has never been overweight, me as somebody who was lucky enough to have parents who made sure that I was also not overweight because they cared about my health and wellness, that would be like me, a Black woman who has never and never will have to worry about obesity, telling other Black women how to lose weight. And the ironic thing, or criticizing other Black women on what method they use to lose weight, when I will never have to go through that problem. And I don't want to hear another married woman, Black or white, frankly, other than Shira 7, because we don't need nobody other than her at this point, really, except for the actually Christian Black women who are married. Shout out to Deborah Yah with the Watchmen, someone who I will promote, who's biblical, scriptural, Hebrew Israelite, and has some real information that is universal, and that's biblical, and that's what I will promote at the end of the day. But I will not allow a married Black woman to criticize a single Black woman for how she achieves marriage. What am I fed up with? I'm fed up with people telling, particularly Black women, but women in general, or even men. I'm sick of people, especially married people, and who are in relationships entering in the conversation about being single when it's not a problem that you have to go through. And if you're not helping. Shira 7 is helping some women who that method is what they're going to try, or who a sugar daddy or whatever is what they're looking for. A rich husband is what they're looking for. Everyone's not looking for the same thing. So I'm sick of people who have no wisdom, no accountability, no purpose in their rhetoric, judging single Black women for anything that we do to find what they already have found. Worry about the divorce that you're going to have in 2 or 3 years, or worry about the divorce you're going to have after you have kids, like most of y'all do, or worry about the divorce you're going to have when your husband cheats on you, or whatever, or when you decide to cheat. You know, I don't want to hear married people talk about a single person's decisions, let alone a single Black woman in America who is single for no other reason than the fact that she's Black and is having and has an uphill battle with white supremacy. And you average, unattractive, obese, overweight, average and less than average Black women who have husbands, you won't know what it's like to be an awesome woman who struggles. You're not struggling. You know what I'm saying? You're not struggling in the realm of dating. I don't struggle in the realm of obesity. Okay? So when I do cooking uploads, it's not for me to talk about a Black woman's weight loss journey, but I'm showing you what I do in my life that maybe some women can apply and it will work. Drinking turmeric in your tea may make one person lose weight. It may make them healthier, but it may not be what someone else needs to lose weight. Everything does not work for everyone. So how dare somebody who is not struggling in one area criticize somebody who is on their method of doing something? Going on 170 dates is incredibly necessary. And you know what? I've heard white women and Asian women and all races of women say that, and all ages of women say that they've had to go on over 100 dates to find their partner. And if you as a woman or man do not have to go on 170 dates to find love or find compatibility, good for you. But how dare you criticize somebody who is struggling in the area of love? How dare you? How dare you? And I don't want to hear one single Black woman criticize another Black woman. And that goes for myself included. Even something as simple as posting a reel or whatever that I did that is criticizing Beyonce, or just, criticizing a celebrity or something for something. At the end of the day, we as Black women, and me taking on a leadership position, I want to go back to what I did in 2014, which was 11 years ago, which is implementing a social media protocol where for a full year, no Black person can say anything negative about another Black person on your social media. That's what I'm suggesting for Black people, to just be a better Black person. And the problem with you women, you open your mouth and you say stuff like that. And that's why us beautiful, skinny women who fit Kevin Samuel's ideal and fit a lot of these red pill ideal standards, and those of us who fit the standards that these men who you say hate women so much and bash women so much, and they have such high standards for women and everything, but you guys are out here looking at men as piggy banks and bank accounts and everything, and acting like you're better than the men who want a skinny woman, or acting better than the men who want a 21-year-old woman instead of a 41-year-old woman. You out here and you want what Shira 7 is telling you to want, to make your life better, and you're criticizing a woman who's, so what if a woman is okay working and paying 50-50? It does not make a difference to me. I know what I want for me, and that's what I'm pursuing. But it's not for me to criticize. I did a whole upload about one of my coworkers who she is happy. She's happy in her marriage. She's happy as a woman, and she works, and she does not complain about having to work, and she's white. And she's so if I don't want to work, that's fine, but I don't have to criticize a woman who's happily married and okay with going to work and is happy in her family life. Everything don't work for everyone. So why are you all trying to peg women into one category and telling women what to do? You are the problem. Anwar White is not telling women what to do and where to do and how to do it unless he's being paid. You, honey, Winnie, who, whatever you, and I get people got followings and they got to talk about controversial stuff, but you black women are so fucking stupid and gossipy, and you don't have any wisdom, and all of y'all got husbands half of the time. And if you don't, it's probably because if you are still single in your late 30s to late 40s to late 50s, it's typical for black women to be single in late 60s and 70s still looking for love, because that's what a racist capitalist society does to slave descendants who come from less than poverty. And I'm sick of people losing sight of that when we're talking about black women, which is something that Shira Seven inadvertently elevates, because she's teaching women how to overcome things that particularly black women go through from our men because of states of oppression. Shira Seven is helping black women, but Anwar Wright is specifically helping black women and openly helping black women. Shira Seven is helping you be more acceptable as a black woman to the rich men that she's encouraging you to go after. And I can show y'all how to do that shit too. But at the end of the day, it's about your freedom as a black woman to choose. Black men have taken their freedom and ran straight into the womb of white women. And I talk about the book of Ezra behind that. So what type of black woman criticizes another black woman in the last days where all of our men are with white women and demon possessed behind it? What type of woman talks about one another? I'll tell you what type. These married black women who believe they're better than single black women. And I'm so fed up with you married women who lead by believing you are better because you were chosen by one man. Every single woman believes she's better than a single woman because she has a man. There's no such thing as a woman who doesn't believe that she's somehow better than a woman who does not have a man. And that's what I'm sick of. Because I don't believe I'm better than another woman because I'm skinny and I don't have to struggle in that arena. And I was privileged. I grew up around white people. I had actually good physical education class, good health education class. So I was able to avoid a lot of the health traps that black people from Chicago, where I'm from, fall into, because there's no funding in the schools where I come from. Now, where I grew up, where I come from, there's no funding there for physical education to keep black kids from being overweight. It's all parents' responsibility for the most part. So I understand what it's like to have privileges or have gifts in certain arenas. Does not make you better than the people who struggle. All struggles are not self-inflicted. Everyone's not out here struggling because they made some bad decision and they deserve all the karma they get. Some of us are going to struggle in some areas because of who we are, and other people are going to struggle in other areas. Obese black women don't struggle in the area of getting married, if you haven't noticed. It's the beautiful black women who struggle to find men that can meet the high standards that we have, and we don't want to have to constantly settle. And black women who are average as fuck in your looks, you always believe that you're better than the next woman who has a struggle because she's exceptional. Your average ass will not have the struggles of the exceptional black woman. And all you black married women, you guys really need to recognize you guys are becoming you guys are becoming the problem. Y'all following y'all is not the solution. You all are becoming the problem. And stay let me take that back, because I need to demonstrate not saying negative things about Black people. Married people being in the business of the single dating pool is the problem. And starting with all of you married people who are cheating on your spouse on the dating apps or at the bar, at the strip club, at wherever. Y'all be at the museums and the art exhibits and the concerts and stuff now. Y'all be at all the spots. Y'all be at the charity events and the private events, you know, in the hotel banquet halls and shit. Y'all be everywhere now. But married people being in the business of single people is the problem. If you are not professionally helping people get married, by all means, shut the fuck up about what Black women do with our money. The moment a black woman robs somebody to fund going on dates, the moment a Black woman is out here hoeing and sleeping with other people's husbands to get what she wants, you know, the moment that she's harming somebody, by all means, start your start your criticism campaign, because you are married and at home and bored, and now you want to be in the business of single people, because now that you're married, you realize you ain't shit, and you don't have anything going for you, and now you're married and you can act better than other women because you don't have to work, or you don't have to be anything other than a gossip girl. A fat Black gossip girl. That's what y'all married Black women be. Shut the fuck up. You guys don't have the character that struggle gives you. You don't have the character that having a challenge in dating gives you. So I'm fed up with women who have more than their fair share telling other women what to do to achieve something that they deserve, when they're doing it legally and when they're doing it pro-Blackly. A Black woman making the Black dollar bounce to find love with a Black man, and here you go saying, accusing people of bashing Shira 7 because your married ass has nothing better to do. I'm so fed up with married people criticizing single people. This is why I've never been so comfortable with being single and enjoying what that means for me, because I understand how unhappy and bored and frustrated married people are, with how bored they are now that they're married, or how bored they are with themselves and their relationship, that you are so interested and so intensely living vicariously through single people while simultaneously trying to look down on us. I want single people, single Black women in particular, to recognize how unhappy a lot of these married people are, and be extremely careful of who you listen to. And what I want you to do is, whoever you listen to, please compare what they're saying to what the scriptures say. That is the only way you're going to guarantee something be beneficial to you. And it may not bring the result that you're looking for, but at least you know it will benefit you. All right? Another thing that I want to say that I'm fed up with. I'm fed up with and it's really the same thing, but I'm also fed up with people having no empathy in the dating pool. What do I mean by no empathy? Had a great discussion with a single male friend of mine who was expressing how he liked the fact that I work, but in the sense of the fact that I have things going for me other than just looking good, other than being a model. And the fact that I was talking to him about how my day at work went, and he was enjoying that, and comparing my ability to talk about life and things and work, and that I have things going for me, and that I have skill sets that I work with, namely being a sommelier. He appreciated that I have skills and that I can talk about that, and have conversation about my day in that way, and express just frustration with women who ask for money when they're not even the girlfriend yet. And I um I had to explain to him something, and and I want men to listen very closely, and I also want women to try to understand this on a subconscious level, and bring it to the consciousness of yourself when you're going out and dating. Women who are asking for money up front in dating, when you're asking a man for money and you guys are not in a committed relationship yet, and you're in the dating, the courting, the getting to know each other phase, men, listen to this, and ladies, pay attention and consider this. A woman who's asking for money up front, this is a woman who has been hurt and who has been scarred from having sex for love, dating for love, being in a relationship for love. Unfortunately, some women married and going through divorce, which the bigger you are, the harder you fall. So the more committed the relationship, the harder the breakup. But a woman asking for money up front, and that is including Shira 7, and why her wisdom is so immense. Because when you speak from experience, it's different than when you're speaking because you read something or heard it, or were trained how to do it at work. When you are speaking from lived experiences, and furthermore, when you are speaking from surviving trauma and overcoming it, and not being in a strapped up in Arkham Asylum behind it, but you're thriving in life and you're surviving trauma that other people cannot see on you because you're not wearing it, because you actually survived and healed from it. All right, when you're speaking from that place, which is where Shira 7 is speaking from, don't get fooled out here. When you're coming from that place as a woman, asking for money up front is it's a guard that you have up. It is guarding yourself from being hurt. Guarding yourself from making an investment that does not pay off. When a woman has spent years, whether with the same man or whether in dating with multiple men, getting her heart broken because she had sex for love and got ghosted, had sex for love and then he was emotionally unavailable, had sex for love, then he went back to the baby mama or the wife that he had, or the other woman that he had, or whatever, had sex for love, you know what I'm saying, and then she got a reputation at work, had sex for love, and then she became a baby mama instead of a wife. When you are dealing with a woman who has had sex for love and has gone through hell because of it, that's what asking for money from a man when you are not even his girlfriend yet looks like. And furthermore, it's a barrier, it's a guardian. It's showing that woman has severe guards up. It's showing that she is in a state where she is protecting herself from being hurt in the only way she knows how, which is to get something up front from the transaction. Another thing, When a woman is asking for money up front, it is, I would say 9 times out of 10, but I also understand with the Shira 7 trend and with things that become trendy, now you're going to have a trend of women who put out these lists of places they don't want to go on a first date, like we had last year or the year before. When you get these trends, you're going to have more women doing things because they're trendy and not doing things because that's her genuine character. But aside, all the trends aside, when a woman is asking for that money up front, and as she's coming from a place of, I understand that I need to guard myself from men, it's 9 times out of 10 because that man brought up sex before commitment. You men complain about women wanting money, asking for money, requiring money, or expecting money before a committed relationship. And 9 times out of 10, it is because you men are wanting sex, making sexual innuendos, making sexual passes, seeing if you can get to first, second, or third base, seeing if you can cop a feel, seeing if that sexual joke will fly instead of focusing on a discussion that we can get to know each other. You all want to violate a woman's privacy without commitment. And when a woman has had sex for love and has been violated and has nothing to show for it except maybe a baby, that's why she's requiring money. It's because you men are bringing up sex on the first date. You men are bringing up sex without the commitment. And you are putting her guards up because you're showing you're not a good guy. You're showing you're interested in sex. And she understands what that leads to without commitment. And when you men bring up sex, you don't get mad that she's now bringing up money. It is you men bringing up sex that is prompting women to be gold diggers. Stop bringing up sex with a woman and show that you're interested in something other than sex with her. And she's going to stop talking about money, and she's going to start talking about subjects that both of you all are interested in, and you guys are going to develop a bond behind that. But the moment you start talking about sex, she's prompted to talk about money if she has her guards up and if she is wise and knows her worth. Now, the third thing is, a lot of times when a woman is bringing up money without being in a relationship and she's doing it in a gold digger fashion, or she's making money some type of requirement to deal with you, unfortunately, all heartbreak and sexual trauma aside, that woman is probably not very interested in you. And I say this to say, money is not as important as financial stability and the ability to move forward in a relationship because you have your own home, your own car, a stable career, and enough financial savvy or financial freedom to start a family. That does not mean you're rich or wealthy. It means you're financially stable, which means you have the basics or even the bare minimum required to show up as a protector and a provider in the dating pool. So I say that to say, me personally, and I feel for a lot of women, and frankly I feel for most women. Most women are not necessarily looking for a rich guy. Most women are not looking for a man who's so incredibly handsome that he can be considered a model or he can be considered top sexiest men. And there are a lot of sexy men out here, sexier than celebrities, who are out here and who are single. A lot of them are gay because gay men do put more into their looks than straight men. But there are straight men who are sexy because they look rugged. And when a woman is attracted to you and she's attracted to you because of your character, money becomes less of a requirement. And what I mean by that is women asking for money, a lot of that will come from understanding that a lot of women have been easily manipulated and seduced by a man's looks, by his handsomeness, by his sex appeal, that they have put up with things that they were not raised to put up with, would never put up with otherwise, and they're putting up with it. Or I've seen women even just become completely immoral women because an extremely handsome man stepped into the room. What do I mean by that? I've watched women flirt with my date in front of her husband because you just couldn't handle being around a sexy man, you know. And that's a small thing compared to how immoral a woman will become when a sexy man enters the picture. And that also means when she's dating a sexy man, or when she wants to, or she's with a man who's treating her bad, but she wants to be with him. Women who go for looks are insecure in how they look. Let's just be clear about that. Anyone who's going for looks, men or women, anyone who's going for looks in a partner is insecure with how they look and is insecure with their ability to influence society with looks. And again, as somebody, me, who does not struggle in the area of looks, it's not for me to judge other people who are considered average or below average in the realm of physical attractiveness. It's not for me, somebody who is considered a goddess, and I'm not considered, who has been told all of my life, you're a goddess. You're the most beautiful black woman I've ever seen. You're the most beautiful woman I've ever seen. You're gorgeous. Can't leave a house without getting a compliment. I have no right to judge a person who struggles in the area of influencing people with their beauty or their handsomeness. You see how that works? When you are privileged in one area and you're blessed in one area and you do not struggle in one area, how dare you tell somebody how to feel better and alleviate the pain of the struggle they are enduring in that area of life? How dare you? How dare you do anything but make that person's struggle easier on them because you are so blessed in that arena? And anyone going after looks is insecure. And one thing I will say, there is someone who's interested in me, and it's for me, it's more of a fetish thing. He talks about his ex being dark skinned and kinky haired and having the same phenotype as me. And he talks about my looks a lot and everything, which is fine, and there's nothing wrong with it. But when you know that someone is insecure with how they look, and you also know that someone, even though they're insecure with how they look, and even though they may feel that they're unattractive, they also have an ego about them to where they want to go out and be impressive and look a certain way. I know how to detect someone who's interested in me and my character and everything, and someone who's interested in me elevating their social status because of how I look, or because of how educated I am, or because of my ability to be in certain communities and in certain societies and to impress people who are influential or abundant. I know what it's like when someone wants me to upgrade them as a man. I know what it's like when someone wants me to upgrade them as a female friend. They want to be able to say that I'm their friend, or they want to be able to be seen with me because it upgrades how they look in society. And this is the number one reason I am okay with being single and okay going out by myself, because I upgrade people who can do nothing for me. And when I go out by myself, I get all the credit. I get all the attention. I get all the opportunity that I deserve for being the exceptional Black high priestess. But when I'm with other people, I'm upgrading them. And if we're not on the same frequency, I'm losing out. Y'all are making me look bad while I'm making you look good. And that's why it's so important to be around people on your same frequency. Again, I said all that to say, when a woman is wanting money from a man or making that a requirement, she does not like you that much. And so she needs to be paid because, she's not in really fully enjoying her time spent with you men, because your character is not exceptional enough for her to not require something else in order to spend time with you. And a lot of you men who do lead with money, and ladies, listen, a lot of times when men lead with money, it's because of all these trends and stuff, and a lot of men are doing what they think they need to do. And again, sometimes men, I think that men, you all need to lead with your character. And a lot of you men, you're getting gold diggers, or you're getting women who want to lead by receiving money from you, because they can see your character is not going to offer much other than paying for bills and paying for a meal. And a lot of married women, they just needed a man, and he was attractive enough, and he'll pay for the bills, and he'll do this and he'll do that. And that's what it looks like when you have these relationships where the man, every time they go out in public, the man's flirting with every woman in sight, and the woman has this blank stare on her face, like she's just tuned out of the disrespect and everything, because she's just there so she doesn't have to work. And he's there because she's not going anywhere, so he can disrespect the relationship by flirting or cheating with other women all he wants, because she's just there so she doesn't have to work. And that's exactly what it looks like. And a lot of men, you got to understand, if you want a woman to love you, you have to work on your character. Because you're gonna end up being you're gonna end up being useless to the woman other than what you provide. And as you get older as a man, and you actually want love, and you want to feel that comfort that your mother may have given you from your wife, or from the woman you're dating, or from the woman you're sleeping with, and your children are getting older, and and you can't just harvest female energy to and fro anymore, you older men, you guys are gonna want love. And a lot of times what you guys do is you accumulate money because you feel like, I'm gonna be a silver fox, and I'm gonna have money, and I'm gonna get better as I get older, because all the younger women want older guys because they all got daddy issues, right? And you guys never ever work on your shitty ass personalities that high value women just don't want to put up with. We would rather just go to work. We would rather spend $10,000 and pay Anwar. We would rather just, take all your money, and just tune out. Because a lot of you men, you have no character. You're not warriors. You cannot fight. You cannot hunt. You can't build a cabin. You can't do any of the indigenous skills that you would require to have in an indigenous culture. Before you made it, you were required to be a hunter and a gatherer and a protector and a provider. And now that we're in post-colonialism, money compensates for you not being a martial artist, not being a hunter, not being a farmer, not being a lumberjack. Money makes up for your lack of manhood, men. That's what money makes up for. So if you also have no real manhood, and you are also broke or have a tight budget when dating, and you have a shitty, unimpressive character, you're not even funny. And a lot of you men, stop making jokes because you think it gives you character. That's when you stop being funny. Having a smart remark or being yourself, and let be yourself and see if you're naturally funny, but don't crack jokes or don't think that you are so funny and you make all these stupid dad jokes and stuff. Don't think that you're funny. Either you're actually funny, you're actually amusing, or you're just annoying. But don't, a lot of you men, you think you're funny because you make jokes. That's not character. A lot of you men don't know how to build character because you did not have a male role model. And if you did have a male role model, you probably had a shitty one. Furthermore, a lot of you men, you refuse to build character because it's your way of rebelling against women. A lot of you men, you really don't like women. You are really, really bitter about things with women. And when ladies, when you talk to these men and they start trauma dumping on you, and it's nothing wrong with talking about your past and your childhood, but when you talk about something from a place of, oh, it still hurts me and it still affects me, versus you, a subject may come up and you may have a story to tell about how you overcame that situation and why you're such a better person because of it. That rings differently than you still talking about how what those two girls in sixth grade said about you. When you're talking about that as a grown man, like it still hurts you and it still affects you, that's going to be a red flag for a woman. You know, because when a lot of you men, you don't have character, you don't build character because you have a chip on your shoulder from childhood, and you're taking it out on the women, on the women you're dating. And these women, we're different women. We're not the women who called you ugly in sixth grade. We're not the women who said you were too short or too dumb, in high school. We're not that cute chick who ghosted you, or we're not that fine chick who dated the jock instead of the nerd, or the guy in woodshop or whatever. I don't know what y'all problem be, but stop taking out what happened to you in high school on the women you're currently dating, who are grown women who have every right to set their requirements for what they want. Stop being stuck in your high school days and work on your character. Work on being confident. Work on being comfortable in your own skin. Work on not needing validation. Work on not needing to listen to too many podcasts and too many this and too many that, and maybe go 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 to church or go somewhere where you can talk to a wise married man who has some sense to offer, who has some wisdom to offer, and work on your character. The number one reason you men have no character and women require money from you, because you don't even have rights of manhood passage. You don't even, the number one reason you men have shitty characters is because you're not a martial artist. If you men studied martial arts and practiced it and learned it and trained in martial arts, women would stop asking you for money because they would see that you have a good character enough where you're going to treat her right. And if you practice martial arts and discipline yourself, you're going to have enough money to date the prettier, more confident, more sexy women that that a lot of you can't afford to date. You want what you cannot afford, a lot of you men. You don't get mad that you want a woman who knows her worth, but you can only afford the woman who's going to show up to the date in a fucking hoodie and some Air Force Ones and looking like you. You can afford the woman who has no confidence whatsoever in her sex appeal. You can afford the woman who has so many guards up that she has to be out here looking like a man and but you can't afford the woman who pours into herself, and just by the fact that she has her hair done, her nails done, that she's wearing high heels, and that she has on a dress, she's showing by being brave enough to be feminine that she knows her worth and that she expects to be protected and provided for. The woman in a hoodie is showing you, hey, I'll fight for myself. I'll fight you if I can. I'm a man. I act like a man. I look like a man. I have guards. I have my guards up and I think like a man, and I don't expect protection and provision. I expect you to treat me like a man, which means I want you to respect me as if I'm a man, because I don't like being a woman and I have penis envy. So a lot of you men, you can only afford the penis envy butch woman who's going to show up in a hoodie and the Jordans and who wants to be treated, who wants to be respected as a man because she has penis envy. You can't afford the woman who's going to show up fully in her feminine and require you to protect her because she has heels on, or she has a skirt on, or she has a dress. I'm not talking about dressing slutty. I'm talking about dressing feminine. She requires you protect her. She has heels on. She can't run and do all this crazy stuff. She has her nails done. She's not finna fight some other woman for you the way that chick in a hoodie who does not dress feminine will. The chick in the hoodie who doesn't dress feminine, she's ready to fight another woman. And she's also ready to fight you. She's ready to argue with you, too. She's ready to fight. A woman in heels is not ready to fight. She's ready to have the door held open for her and have things paid because she's ready to be aroused by your manhood. She likes men. The woman in the hoodie hates men. And she hates other women who are more feminine than her. So a lot of you men, you can afford that woman who is going to pay her own bills because she likes to present herself into society as a man. You can afford the chick in the hoodie. So men, stop complaining about what women want and just focus on what you can afford, because every woman is different. And what, again, I'm sick of is people trying to put women, marginalize all women into one category of how we should go about dating. But if I hear one other married black woman open her fucking mouth and criticize another single black woman for anything we do, I'm gonna really, really talk about y'all and y'all husbands. My inbox. And I'm going to really, really reiterate what the Bible has to say about most of y'all married women. You never know your fucking place. If you are married with a husband, I behoove you to delete your social media apps if you want to have a happy marriage, unless you and your husband married to go viral. If you got one of these marriages where you got together with one of these half gay dudes because you wanted to go viral as a black couple, cool. However, if you are an actually married woman who got a husband, I behoove you to delete your social media app and know your fucking place. Because you are in the lane of single women who have a different freedom and a different struggle than you, and all you're doing is showing how jealous you are of the freedom that single women have to talk about these subjects, to dress in the way we want to dress. If you're married, guess what? Shut it up and shut it down and go answer to your husband and stay out of the business of single women with your jealous ass. And you know what? And that's the thing, Winnie Bamsey, Miss I've been married since 2021, telling another black woman what to do and accusing people of hating on Shira 7. Not one single person on this planet hates Shira 7 except for the dusty men that she is referring to. and except maybe a few biblical people who recognize the Jezebel, who recognize Jezebel on her tongue. Other than that, ain't nobody out here hating Shira 7. If anything, in Shira 7 we trust. If anything, Shira 7 finna be on whatever new currency they make. So stop with the rhetoric. You married black women all sound the same. You all do the same thing. And what you do is you show the world why black women are so criticized for being loud, unruly, untamable, masculine, drama causing, full of drama, full of, because you guys refuse to shut up and actually just stay in your feminine lane and be poised and be feminine. And the one thing you all absolutely refuse to do is submit to your husband. Please just shut the fuck up and go submit to your husband and stay out of the business of single women. Because while you're on Facebook with y'all married ass talking about single women's business, maybe we should be more worried about your husband while you're more worried about our single life and how we're spending our money. And this is why you married women get cheated on. Because it's so easy to take y'all husband because you guys are so in the business of single sexy women who have a different struggle. You got your man because you're average. And he's not threatened by the idea of marrying you. He can't fight. Your husband is not a martial artist. He can't fight. He's probably fat and overweight too. So, you know what I'm saying? You marry women, most of y'all don't have the struggle of being so beautiful that you intimidate all men because they're not actually martial artists who know how to kill. You don't have that struggle. Your husband's fat and average. You're fat and average. Can none of y'all kill nothing? So my advice to married women, delete your social media app, act virtuous, submit to your husband, cover up, stop flirting with single men to compete with single women. Stop trying to take all the attention. Stop trying to take more than you have. No one centers men the way married women do. That's why you got one every day, all day, right? How dare a married woman talk about decentering men? How dare you? You're married. Single women are decentering men without your help. Without your help. You have centered a man. Now go submit to the man that is the center of your life. Dummy. You black women are so dumb. When you get married and when you get your husbands and when you get the little taste of what it's like to have white privilege by having a man protect and provide for you when other black women are enduring the curse. You're getting your little taste of heaven on earth, and I don't know where your soul is going to go to afterwards. But if you want it to go anywhere other than hell, I suggest you delete your social media and all the temptation that comes with being anything other than a wife, and go shut the fuck up and be a wife and stop acting like a single woman, gossiping in the business of single women, acting like you're better, acting like you know something. I want all of you married black women to shut the fuck up and go cook your husband a meal. I guess who I sound like. But you know what? That's how you marry. That's how women, and that's how black women, that's how you guys are. And that's why men are bashing y'all. And that's why women are paying men and paying black men who have taken time out to help us and to take their manhood and help us get what we deserve from men. Instead of, Anwar is not having a podcast. He's not Kevin Samuels. He's not that other Negro who encourages black men to marry white women. He's not all these other dudes out here. Why are you bashing him and the black women who are paying him money instead of a white corporate business? Why are we doing this? I'm going to tell you all why. Because married black women hate single black women for some fucking reason. Why do you guys act like this? What is wrong with you married black women? Y'all are truly sick. Y'all are sick. And it's like I don't want to be nothing like y'all. I don't want to be nothing like y'all to the point where I really am just gonna go back to being pro-black, because you married black women are sickening. 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 Full of Jezebel. And you guys center men, you guys can't wait to bash another woman because you have a man in your life. Yet women who are single have no problem supporting other women. Women who have struggled, women who go through divorce, women who have struggled in the realm of dealing with men have no problems. Yet you marry women who have every fucking thing. Why do you all compete with single black women so fucking much? Why do you all do that shit, bro? Like, what is y'all entire issue? Oh, I know what it is. You got a man around you all goddamn day. I just answered my own question. I know what your issue is. You've centered men. And now you have that competitive black woman energy because you've centered men. And now your whole married life is about trying to keep your man. And instead of actually competing with other women by being the most beautiful woman in the world, like Black Eyed Priestess is told, yet I get to be single because men are so threatened by it. You know, you women, you can't compete with other women by being the most beautiful one in the world, because if you were the most beautiful woman, you wouldn't have no fucking husband. You'd be struggling to get one if you were actually beautiful. You know, you married women. Your problem is you have to submit to your husband now that you're married, and you just wanted to have a husband so you can look down on other women. You just wanted a husband to feel like you were better than other women. And now that you got your husband, your true character shows. You are nothing but a woman who wanted to be better than the next woman and who wanted to not have to do anything in life and to be elevated by a man. The best thing about being single is God actually pays my bills. God actually elevates me. God, Holy Spirit, actually gives me the energy I need to go work for myself so I can tell a man who wants to fetishize and objectify me, no. No to your money. No to you paying these bills. I'll take care of it myself and I'll go home alone instead of being objectified, instead of waking up to unwanted pregnancies, STDs, being cheated on, being belittled, men flirting with other women in front of my face, me not knowing where I stand with a man, me being confused about a situationship, me being abused by men, being hit by men in the face. You men have to really understand you're competing with a female's peace of mind. And you females who are always talking about what the next woman is doing because you got a man, y'all are a huge problem. And single women, we don't want to be nothing like y'all. And it's clear that having men in your life all the time turns y'all into Jezebel. And at least single women, at least we have free time for real actual sisterhood, while you women, you gotta go submit to you gotta go try and keep your man, if you even got a man, instead of some simp out here who you can run ragged and cheat on and he'll still stay. You know, a lot of you women don't have to do any work to keep a man because you made sure you got the dumbest one you could find. But at the end of the day, the way married women are jealous of single women's freedom to make to find a better husband than you got. You know, ladies, the Bible does not talk about a woman hitting the wall when she's had menopause or at menopause. The Bible talks about women giving birth way after they've stopped bleeding. The Bible talks about miracles. The Bible ridicules married women to and fro. Sarah, you saw she was married. She was not humble. She took it upon herself to use a slave girl, and then she wanted to discard her. That's all how all you married women act. You act like all other women are your personal slaves, like you're better than other women who are single, like we owe you something. When actually the Bible says that women should be teaching other women, elevating other women, giving us wisdom, not competing with us. You marry women, you act like old crones who are competing with the younger woman who is right to give birth. And these concepts only really happen more in indigenous culture, where all a woman's value is in her ability to give birth or have wisdom. So stop being jealous of ladies in waiting, because I think the assumption is that single women are jealous of married women, and we're jealous of white women with black men, or we're jealous of women who have rich husbands, women who have handsome husbands. I think that there are women who have jealousy toward other women. I think that when a woman has a handsome husband, even more so than a rich one, I think a lot of women lose control, and they will start to act like whores around a man that's handsome, and they will completely disregard all self-respect, all respect for other women, and all respect for that man's personal space and that man's marriage. Women will way before a man will. Men have way higher protocol for how they respect other men. Women have absolutely no protocol for how they treat another woman when a handsome man is around, or when a black man is around. Because everyone wants to use black men to make themselves feel better than black women, or feel better than the next black woman, by getting the one black man around. And at the end of the day, it's sickening. And I'm calling a ceasefire. I'm calling a stop to this. I'm calling a stop to this competition between married women and single women. Married women, get the fuck out of the dating pool. Go submit to your husband. No, you're not. Nobody wants what you have. And I think you guys want men just so you can experience what it's like to be beautiful, and to go out into this world, and for people to be jealous of you and want what you have. A lot of you married women, most of y'all are not beautiful enough to know what it's like for someone to be genuinely jealous of you, or for someone to be genuinely inspired by you, because you're so beautiful that they want to be like you. They want to know where you got your lipstick, where you got your outfit. They want to fuck any man you're with. I could be with the ugliest man walking down the street, and women will want him just because they want to take something from me. Why? Because I have what they want. And they don't want me to have it because I'm black. Now, if I was white, women would behave probably very differently to me. But a lot of times when you have certain things and you're also black, in a world where it's okay to take from the black woman and give it to the white woman. It's okay to take what's rightfully the black woman's and give it to the white woman. When I have something that you can't take away from me: beauty, dignity, confidence, self-respect, skinniness, and athletic shape, model skinny. When I have these things and I'm also black, people, it's just like, oh, well, how did you get white privilege? And a lot of you married women, it's clear that you needed that wedding. You needed validation from the man, so now you can go out here looking down on other women for whatever they do. No one centers men like married women. And it's crazy, because if you're married and you didn't have to go on 170 dates, and you married your high school sweetheart, or you dated the first guy you dated in college and he could afford to marry you at 25, how dare you talk to a woman who's past 35 or 45 how to date and find love? Because a lot of you women, you want that marriage so you can experience what a lot of single women experiences, which is being exceptional and being influential from being sexy and confident. You all don't get that. So you got the man, and now you're confident enough to criticize other women. But you weren't confident in criticizing other women when no man wanted you, when you didn't have a man. You weren't confident enough to criticize other black women. Your man gives you confidence enough to open your mouth and talk shit about the next black woman just living her life. And y'all be like that. Y'all really do. You know? Y'all are not focused on your man, and you're not focused on your marriage because you're not biblical. You wanted a wedding, you wanted status, and then you have the nerve to bash men for wanting the skinnier, younger, beautiful, sometimes whiter woman. Yet he has the same freedom to want whatever his preference is. I don't approve of interracial dating. It's not biblical. However, every man and woman has their right and their freedom to date who they want. Every adult has their freedom to do that. So, let's start to exercise empathy in the dating realm. Ladies, black women, let's be realistic about the economy. Let's be realistic about being slave descendants when we are dating black men. Let's be realistic about the economy. Let's be realistic about being slave descendants when we are dating black men. Let's have some empathy for what a black man may go through when it comes to buying a house, when it comes to getting a raise, when it comes to getting a job, when it comes to overcoming a criminal record. Because unfortunately, some of the criminals are some of the most masculine men you're going to find, especially the ones that are actually reformed from their time in prison. Those are some good men. Those are some good masculine men. And prison reform is not just as good, I would say, but it's just as good as why I say to take martial arts. Because when you have a form of discipline, these men who were reformed in prison, they have that discipline to lead in a marriage. And a lot of them got saved in prison. There's no point in marrying a man unless he's saved. Ladies, I'm letting you know, you don't want no dog on a leash. And every man is nothing but a dog on a leash. The ring is the leash. Unless Christ is dictating his morality. I'm sorry to let you know, ladies, but you married women, I know why y'all be so bitter and so rah about single women, because you have a different now your struggle is keeping your dog on the leash. And we can go out and we can flirt with your dog and sleep with him if we want, but we don't like fleas, you know, and we can still come home and have peace. But you guys, you have to live with your dog on the leash. You got to live with that man. You don't have the freedom to go out and date whoever you want and flirt and all this. And married women, y'all be wanting to go out and act single. Y'all love acting single. And I thought the men be acting single, but the men don't. The men, they just got kids. You know what I'm saying? They all got kids. But you women, y'all all want to be the next hot thing, the hot club girl. It's not, every man out here is not following trends. Every brother out here ain't trying to be a rapper, or whatever, but it's like every sister, married, young, older, whatever, every female out here is trying to follow some fucking trend. And you know what? Men are sick of it. There are more women out here acting like 8-year-old girls than there are pedophiles preying on them. I'm fed up with the behavior of women. And when you're feminine and you see how these women act, I understand what the men are saying. And don't get mad when a black woman decides, you know what? it's going to be wise for me to listen to to the men, because I want to marry one and I want to honor him and respect him. So let me listen to what the men are saying instead of what these women are saying who do not seem happy. Instead of what the women are saying from and all Anwar was saying was, it's nothing wrong with what Shira 7 is saying, but he's talking about the difference between coming from a place of being broken, being guarded, being hurt, being traumatized, and a place of being healed, knowing your standards, knowing your worth, and simply believing that you deserve whatever it is you want. Whether you want him to be tall, dark, handsome, rich, or just simply want him to love you and no one else. And let's be honest, women. That's what being a woman means. It means you want to be loved exclusively by that man. That's what being a woman means. And black men hate black women, and they want to love us in a harem. And anyone encouraging black women to be loved exclusively by one man and to be the only woman that one man loves, the way the Bible said, anyone encouraging a black woman to do that deserves $10,000 or more, because what they're doing is priceless. What the Bible says is priceless. Everything else will cost you. Everything else will cost you. So don't get mad that she's giving a black man $10,000 to use his skills instead of upgrading herself by spending it on a Birkin bag. Y'all black women are truly, I think I gotta call this one, black women is out of touch with reality. Yeah. I did a whole upload. My latest upload that got the more hits was how black men are out of touch with reality. This one, I might have to say, black women, y'all are out of touch with reality. Because you know why? You don't want to live in your home and submit to your husband. Y'all want to worry about who we dating and whether or not our man is richer or look better than y'all's. Y'all some fucking Atlanta housewife gossip girl bullshit. Y'all are really, really dramatic on purpose. And black men are done going to the circus every time he has to deal with a black woman. He does not want to be in the fucking circus with y'all all the time. Grow up. Peace and love.